Hi there, my magical star beings. This is Psychic Siren Tarot, your favorite tarot reader, and welcome to the channel. In today's reading, we're going to be taking a look at how he views your photos for the man on your mind, and this could be photos you've sent him on your social media, anything at all. So, have you ever felt like someone's secretly against you, where there's a weird energy there and you just can't figure out why? Well, that happened to me recently with friendship drama, and I know you love a little tea, so I'll share without giving too much away. And let me tell you, what I discovered completely shocked me. To get clarity, I tried something that actually works thanks to today's video partner, Psychic Source. Some friends of mine started having their own conversations without me. At first, I tried to not take it personally, but then the little petty, passive-aggressive comments and jabs started. Someone else pointed this out to me, and I realized something is off. So that's when I booked 3 different psychics and Psychic Source to see if I'd get similar messages, and I did. The first psychic told me that one of them basically stopped me from growing the other friendships and that they're not real friends. The second psychic said something very similar, that they're fake, shallow, jealous, and that I intimidate them, which I didn't expect. She said that they act helpful but aren't really supportive, which is such weird behavior in my opinion. Now, the third psychic told me something that literally blew my mind. She revealed that gossip twisted how they saw me and that others' lies had affected the group dynamic, and I just don't get why you would believe somebody else's lies over asking me the truth. Suddenly, I could see my blind spots and who I couldn't trust. I didn't want to stop with just one reading. I wanted to be sure. After talking to all the 3 different psychics, what amazed me was how their insights lined up. Each one gave me a piece of the puzzle that helped me see the bigger picture. That is the beauty of Psychic Source. You're not limited to one style or one perspective. You can choose how you want your reading, whether by phone, video, or chat, whatever feels most comfortable. And because only 2% of applicants are accepted, you know you're connecting with someone truly gifted. And if it doesn't resonate, they have a satisfaction guarantee. Their accuracy was scary in the best way. They knew exactly what happened as if they were there, and it helped me see the situation clearly. If you need answers like me about love, career, or anything in life, Psychic Source is hooking up new customers in my community with a special deal. Use my code Siren at trypsychicsource.com/siren when checking out, or you can use my link in the description box below at trypsychicsource.com/siren. For a limited time, you can get 40 minutes with an advisor for just $19.80. That's up to a $240 value. No other service comes close to offering this kind of deal. Don't wait, find the clarity you need today. They also donate 1% of your purchase to charity, which I really respect and admire. Thank you to Psychic Source for sponsoring today's video. So getting back to your pile selection, for pile 1 we have Honey Calcite with the Page of Swords. For pile 2 we have Peacock or with the 5 of Cups, and for pile 3 we have Blue Lace Agate with the Magician. So I'm going to give you a few seconds to pick a pile, pick whichever one you're most drawn to. So once you are done picking a pile, you can find your timestamps for your pile in the description box below, and then I'll see you at your reading. Hi pile 1, if you chose the Honey Calcite crystal and the Page of Swords, then this is your reading. We're going to be taking a look at how he views your photos for the man on your mind. Please be aware that this is a general reading, so only take what resonates, leave the rest, and you can keep this person in mind while I shuffle your cards. So spirit guides of pile 1, please tap me into their energy as well as the energy of the person on their mind. Please show me how he views their photos. How does he view pile 1's photos? How does he view pile one's photos? So we have the Three of Swords. Then we have the Two of Pentacles. We have the Six of Cups. And we have the Four of Swords. With the Lovers at the back of the deck. Okay, so the first thing I see is that he views your photos as very sexy. He sees you as confident and radiant within your photos. Another thing I see with the Lovers at the back of the deck, this tells me that he kind of looks at your photos as if he's in love with you, with almost like this energy of you taking his breath away in some way with your beauty. But there is this innocent devotion and loyalty that is showing through from him. So it's almost like he only looks at your photos and not, you know, like other women's photos, if that makes sense. And I think he just adores you and almost like wants to worship the ground you walk on. He sees you as like a living, breathing goddess. He likes to look at photos of the both of you together and kind of stare and reminisce on those memories you have together that make him smile. I also get that he's very happy every time he gets to FaceTime you. I know that's not a photo, but that's kind of seeing your face in a way on the phone. He also thinks you don't need much to make your photos look beautiful. Like, you can take a photo without makeup and still look gorgeous. And when you do wear makeup, it's even more gorgeous. And let's say you do, you know, take a photo. There's no need to even like edit it or do anything to it to make it look a certain way, because this person sees you as perfect as you are. He sees you as someone with a natural beauty about you too. And he really likes the clothes you're wearing in each photo. I think he really finds your fashion style quite interesting and appealing. He also sees you as the woman of his dreams, the woman he may want to marry one day, or some of you or I'm slipping up my words. Some of you are already married to him or making plans to get married. I'm saying that because she's wearing a veil here, which kind of reminds me of marriage. He also sees it as like you put a lot of work in to get the perfect photo. Like maybe your friends are taking like 100 photos of you and then you pick the perfect one and you're like posing and you're like, you know, trying to make the photo look good. I see him having like a full collection of photos of you on his phone, perhaps even putting it in a folder of you, or just having a bunch of you on his phone saved. I'm also seeing this story of Cinderella when he puts the shoe on her foot and it fits perfectly. So perhaps he sees you as like his perfect match in a way. And that's, you know, how he feels every time he looks at your photos. Just kind of like this dreamy feeling of feeling in love and feeling like this is my person. You seem very calm, peaceful in your photos, you know, cool with yourself, cool with your own self-perception. You don't seem to be very insecure. Like, the way you look in your photos just looks confident and secure within yourself. That's something he does find attractive. And he can also see the authenticity through your style, through the way you pose. Like, it's just very much a you. He also thinks you probably have like many different ideas of how to like keep him interested, keep him curious in a way. Like, maybe if you notice he hasn't responded and he's busy and you send him like a quick photo to kind of like keep him intrigued, or maybe you send him a meme on social media or something to make him laugh. Like, he feels like even with your text messages, you kind of keep it intriguing, interesting. It never gets dry or boring with you, even in person. And in terms of your photos, like, maybe you'll send photos of different things too, like a picture of your dog or, you know, a picture of you cooking just to like show him what you're doing. If you do that, he likes that because it kind of makes him feel like when he's not around you, he gets to see a peek into like your daily life, which he enjoys. He also has some pictures of you from like a long time ago, from maybe like when you first met, for example. And he can see that you have kind of changed over time. Like maybe your look has evolved, you've become more of yourself, like you've kind of just maybe grown and matured more. Maybe your style has changed a little bit or evolved a little bit. So he kind of keeps photos of like from before and photos of now. And if you are not currently with this man anymore, and this is a man from your past with the Six of Cups, Three of Swords, I could read this as like him still keeping photos of you from the past, like maybe photos of you together, feeling heartbreak every time he sees it. But that doesn't have to resonate with everybody. Spirit is almost joking that every time I don't know if I should say joking, but every time this man sees your photos, he kind of feels like it takes him aback a little bit, like in a good way. You know, it's kind of like so breathtaking that his heart almost feels like it's stopping in that moment, if that makes sense. He is so in love with your smile as well. He loves the photos like where you smile and the photos where you maybe not too posed, but they're like candid photos where it's kind of like you just being natural in yourself, if that makes sense. Like natural in your posing, I mean, where you're not necessarily posing, you're just being yourself in front of the camera. He also likes the low effort photos you maybe send him where, you know, maybe you're just in your room or something, not necessarily photos you'd post online, but just like kind of the comfortable photos where you're in your pajamas or something, you know. He tends to analyze every feature of yours because he just finds so much beauty within your photos that he almost like wants to stare at you and look at all your features and kind of just take it all in. Okay, so now I'm going to pull some oracle cards to get some more information. So I feel drawn to using the Britney Spears oracle because I haven't used this in a while. So how does he view their photos? We have the ringleader in the reverse. So with this card, I'm getting that you're not someone that, you know, like goes to other people's posts and, you know, tries to copy what they're doing and, you know, copy their poses and, you know, be identical to another person. You're kind of coming up with your own ideas and dressing up authentically, posing authentically in a way that feels you. You're not necessarily copying, or maybe you're taking inspiration from some people, but you're not like being someone you're not, if that makes sense. You're not following trends. You're perhaps setting trends without even trying. And that's kind of how he views your photos, especially on your social media, I'd say. Then we have the dancer. So maybe he likes the photos where you're doing something that is interesting to you, a hobby of yours. Like, it doesn't have to be dancing, but let's say someone here loves to game and maybe you take a photo of yourself gaming. Or let's say you love to do art and you take photos of your art. Like, he'd like to see more of that and he enjoys seeing that. Maybe he just views you as also like very artistic in the way you express yourself through clothing, fashion, the way you pose, take the photos, your ideas for the photos, stuff like that. Then we have the boho babe. So maybe some of you have a little bit of a boho style or like this free-spirited style about you. You don't have to look like that per se, but you could give off that vibe through the way you're just in that photo, like you just seem free in a way, if that makes sense. Then we have the little star. So perhaps he sees you as someone that can kind of put on a show, be a little bit theatrical in a good way, like on camera, even in videos. You know how to kind of like get your audience's attention in some way, especially if you do, you know, have like a social media account where you're posting things like religiously. Maybe you're just very good at like creating that theatrical effect where the spotlight is on you, and he loves that confidence. And then we have the yogi. So yeah, maybe some of you have social media accounts where you're like posting your hobbies, like if you do yoga, dancing, something like that's coming through, and he likes to look at that. Or if you have a business account, maybe you know how to kind of like sell things on this business account. I don't know. But again, I'm just basically getting this energy of like, you know how to put on a show, be theatrical, be a little bit performative in a good way, but also be authentic. Like mixing those two energies together. He perhaps even feels like you would be good with like YouTube videos, shorts, TikToks, because maybe you're just very entertaining to watch. Maybe you have a good sense of humor. Maybe you have some kind of charm or charisma about you where it's not just photos, but it's also like videos. It's something like that's showing through here. He likes your hairstyles as well in your photos. If you ever do like makeup that is like a smoky eye or like natural look, he likes those. Maybe even glowy looks to do with your makeup. If you ever like have your curls in your hair, like either naturally or you do curls, that could also look very good. Maybe also braids, dreads, if you wear that, you know, maybe you look very good in that. Your skin just seems very glowy in your photos as well, especially like when the natural sunlight hits your face. Some of you could have a lot of Leo in your chart, and I'm also hearing Scorpio, maybe even Pisces or Sagittarius. Some of you are kind of like smaller in stature or a little bit shorter or more petite, and he thinks you look quite adorable and cute. So now during the last part of your reading, I'm just going to see what I can pick up on clairvoyantly about how he views your photos. I'm getting the word nonchalant, and that kind of goes with what I said about the Four of Swords, where you just seem secure within yourself. You don't seem like you care too much about other people's opinions, like stuff like that. Maybe nonchalant isn't the best word to use, I don't know, but it's kind of like you don't really care too much about other people's opinions. And when it comes to like social media, you're not maybe that attached to other people's like validation. You're kind of like detached from other people, maybe on like social media. You're not like attached to their approval, if that makes sense, or their validation. So I'm seeing that he tends to read all your captions, and he tends to like stalk your social media, and maybe even like analyze your photos, like every little detail, who you're with. Like he gets very curious, like he looks at the background of the photo, he zooms in. I'm seeing that type of energy with him. So it's not like he's just looking at the photo, swiping away. He's like intently focused on like observing the photo. Your environment in your photos also seems to be organized. Like let's say you're taking a photo in your room and you have like a shelf behind you and everything looks organized on that shelf or whatever. That's just an example to the energy. Everything's kind of cohesive together in the photo, and I feel like this man pays attention to like small details. So like for example, your style, like it matches your hair, you know, something about like cohesiveness is showing through. If you ever also like post photos online with songs, maybe he listens to the song or takes note of the song you post and almost like tries to get to know like your music taste or what type of person you are based off your music taste. So he's a very like analytical man, and he's gonna think deeply about like who you are as a person and try to like read between the lines. If you recently got a haircut and you've shown it to him in a photo or done something to your hair, he really likes it. He also notices when other people comment on your photos. So he looks at like who's commenting on your photos. I wouldn't be surprised if this man like shows up as a little bit like protective or jealous sometimes. But he kind of feels lucky to have you. Like, I see him thinking a sexual innuendo in his mind, like, oh, she's wearing this, but I know what she's wearing underneath. So he kind of feels like, you know, even if there are other people looking at you, other people admiring you, he's the one that gets to be with you. So he feels lucky for that. If you also like do your nails a lot, he likes your nails because I'm seeing a nail salon in my mind's eye. And your skin just looks very soft in your photos too. There's something about having beautiful eyes that are like your best feature within your photos. I'm seeing like someone with maybe like a little bit more of a tanned or darker complexion, like medium-ish complexion, if that makes sense. And they have like these very beautiful green or hazel eyes. I'm seeing that as an example in my mind's eye. But something about the brightness of the eyes just like almost being the feature that stand out. Even if you don't have green eyes, or even if you don't look like how I mentioned, there's just something about that that's showing through for me clairvoyantly. And your home also seems very clean based off your photos. I don't know if you're like taking photos and then like furniture's in the background or what, but that's what he's noticed. Now I'm seeing two swans kiss in my mind, and remember I said something about the Lovers card being at the back of the deck? It has two swans on it, which is kind of a cool synchronicity. Swans represent beauty, devotion, loyalty, all of that. So I feel like that message is amplified here. I'm also seeing Libra energy in my mind's eye as well as Capricorn energy. And I'm seeing beautiful curls now. And I'm seeing also Christmas. So like if you ever take photos around like holiday periods, maybe he does like it. And if you do have like particularly curly hair, he does like that a lot too. So that's all I have for you, pile one. I really hope this reading resonated. Please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Let me know how this resonated down in the comments below, and I can't wait to see you next time. Hi pile 2, if you chose the Peacock or Crystal and the Five of Cups, then this is your reading. We're going to be taking a look at how he views your photos for the man on your mind. Please be aware that this is a general reading, so only take what resonates, leave the rest, and you can keep this person in mind while I shuffle your cards. Spirit guides of pile 2, please tap me into the energy of my pile 2s, as well as the person on their mind, and please show me, how does he view their photos? How does he view their photos? So something about your photos making him feel something with the Five of Cups and the moon when I split the deck. So your photos aren't just like beautiful. Yes, they have like this artistic visionary feel to it, like based off the first card I'm seeing. Kind of reminds me of like Pinterest photos or something, like a very artistic background or feel, or maybe something about the aesthetic of your photos is aestheticing. I feel like even on your social media there's something about the aesthetic. There's something about maybe you taking inspiration from Pinterest. Because I feel like your photos come through as like, they make him feel something. And even if it's not about like aesthetics and all of that, maybe it just brings on deeper feelings for him. So we have the Seven of Pentacles. We have the Knight of Swords. You know what I'm getting? You know how like art makes you feel something? He kind of sees your photos as like a work of art. So the Seven of Pentacles, Knight of Swords, the Four of Pentacles, and the Sun. Okay, something about him being able to see your mood through the photo, like through your facial expression. Maybe you have a very expressive face. So let's say you're sad that day, he can see it through your face in your photo. Even if you're not frowning, he can just see it. He can sense it. It's like an intuitive thing, and you know, maybe if you're happy and you're not smiling, like he can see it. You feel like home to him, that's what I'm getting intuitively. So seeing pictures of you feels like revisiting home every time. You could be that type of person that spontaneously takes photos of yourself, like when you're just doing something fun or when you're just bored, you kind of like spontaneously take a photo of yourself, send it to him. He enjoys that, you know, like just out of the blue seeing a photo from you and not expecting it. Or seeing something online and not expecting it. Okay, so I am feeling that something perhaps happened in your connection that was not the best or the greatest. It could be different for all of you, honestly. But there could be like strong emotions that come about every time he sees your photos. Like a kind of feeling of sadness and regret for maybe what has happened in the past in your connection. Especially if you're not together at the moment, especially if things didn't work out and your paths weren't aligned. Or this could maybe be based off previous issues you've encountered together. If you're still together, like he kind of worries that your paths maybe won't align in the future. And he's worried about like you two going your separate ways. He doesn't want that. So perhaps seeing your photos brings up the feelings he's maybe bearing deep down. He does tend to admire your body when he looks at your photos. He finds your body very appealing and alluring to him. And he also likes the way your hair looks. I'm particularly seeing dark hair with these cards. I'm also seeing blonde hair in my mind's eye. Or even like highlights or other kind of like colors like blue. Like I don't know if someone here dyes their hair like blue or other kind of colors, but I'm seeing that. Yeah, I'm also seeing like golden shades too as well to the hair color. You could be someone that wears eyeliner and wears makeup, but maybe more of like a natural, not necessarily too natural, because you still look like you're wearing makeup, but it kind of feels like a natural glam with eyeliner, if I'm making sense. Like maybe the lipstick colors aren't too bright, they're kind of like neutral, not a lot of eyeshadow. You know, maybe you have base, foundation, concealer, contour, all those things, but when it comes to like the lipstick and the eyeshadow, it's like very neutral. So even though it's not natural, it looks natural. Does that make sense? That's kind of what I'm getting. I'm seeing someone on like a farm. I don't know if someone here like lives on a farm. If you are broken up or something happened where you guys didn't work out, I keep seeing this bittersweet feeling every time he sees your photos where he's happy to see your face, but then it kind of feels like a punch in the gut, where all those memories and emotions resurface. Or if you're still together, then I could read this as also like a bittersweet feeling where maybe some of the pain from the past and the connection is like resurfacing, but he's also happy to see you at the same time. Kind of like a contradictory mixed feeling, I mean. I said missed by accident, so perhaps this person does miss you whenever he sees your photos and he doesn't want to miss out on an opportunity with you. like to experience this connection. He may also keep your photo close to him, one of your photos like in his wallet or something. I'm seeing that for someone here. Doesn't have to be the wallet, but I'm seeing something about like keeping the photos, like let's say you took a photo together and he put it in a photo frame, you know, in his home or something like that. Or maybe you would want him to do that. I don't know. Whatever resonates with you. He thinks that you're very intelligent but beautiful at the same time. He likes your wittiness. And perhaps you're someone that's kind of like a little bit of a shopaholic. You like getting new clothes, new makeup, new shoes, new handbags, whatever it is. You like to kind of like invest into your own beauty. And I guess that reflects through your photos. But I'm also seeing this energy where you know how to be responsible with your money with the Four of Pentacles. You're not necessarily going overboard with that. But I think you are someone that likes to treat yourself. And maybe that reflects through your photos. I feel like you guys are probably the type of people that don't post a lot on social media or your main social media. Someone here has like a Finsta where you post like things there to only like your close friends, where you post like daily, just like random things there. But a lot of you just don't like post a lot in general, and it's kind of like you have like very little photos on your social media, and I guess it keeps people guessing, keeps people wondering what's going on in your life. Like even when you're doing fun things, you don't always post it. That's what I'm getting to, that he's noticed. Okay, perhaps you're also someone that's very picky with your photos. Like you want everything to be perfect in the right place. And if something is a little bit off, you don't want to post it. Maybe you're a little bit of a perfectionist. Or maybe you just get kind of like self-conscious about little things that is not so noticeable, but maybe to you it's noticeable, because obviously when we're looking at a picture of ourselves, we tend to maybe notice things other people don't notice. Because I see him being like, okay, just post this photo, it looks fine. And then you're like, no, my hair looks weird there. And he's like, oh, but your hair looks fine. Like, I'm getting an example like that. Something about your teeth also looking very white in your photos, like when you smile. And perhaps some of you have also like, I want to say like an aesthetic looking background in your home. Like maybe something about the aesthetic looks good in your home. If you have like a lot of things. I don't know how to explain that. Or maybe some of you are maximalists. I see that too. He sees you as someone that kind of likes to experiment with color, with styles, with themes, aesthetics. Like, it's kind of like just very creative with you. Maybe experimenting with like wearing clothes in different ways and not wearing it the same way each time as well. Because you could be the type of person that like wears maybe like many different styles where you kind of like incorporate them together, if that makes sense. And let me just say, your body looks really good. I keep getting messages about that. You look very healthy in your photos too. So now I'm going to use the Britney Spears oracle and get some oracle cards, and then after that I will be using some more clairvoyance to just see what else I get. We have the Forest Fairy in the reverse. We have the Movie Star. We have the Spotlight. We have the Bubblegum Bread reverse. And we have the Goddess. Okay, so this kind of reminded me of someone saying serving looks. I don't know why. Even if he doesn't think in that way, that's me telling you you're serving looks in your photos. Um, okay, with the forest fairy in reverse, I'm getting that maybe you have this very like grounded look to you, kind of like girl next door, boy next door type of look. Yet you also have some kind of glamour about you at the same time. I guess it just depends on like what you're wearing, like how you're kind of like portraying yourself that day. Sometimes maybe you're that type of person that when you're home you like to wear things that are comfy, things that are practical, but maybe when you go out you like to go all out with the way you dress and kind of just steal the spotlight in some way, if that makes sense. Because there's something very glamorous about you, like when you really get dressed up. But maybe when you're at home or like doing something casual, you like to go for the more practical, comfortable wear. So that's what he's noticed about your photos, and that's how he views your photos. Like maybe on different days, it's like different. I said something about him liking your smile, I think. And here she has like a big smile in both these pictures. Also something about your legs looking good, your hips too. He likes when your hair is kind of like out of your face but down. Especially if you have like long hair, or if you do like different hairstyles like this maybe, or this like a plait. But I'm mainly seeing like him like when your hair's down but out of your face, because it allows your face to kind of show through more. So, you know how like sometimes boyfriends will look at a photo of us and be like, this is the most beautiful photo of you, and then we as a girlfriend maybe disagree. I'm seeing that type of energy where he will look at like certain photos of you and be like, yeah, this is your best photo, but then you think like another photo is your best photo. So I'm seeing that. I don't know why. If you have any tattoos, he likes the way your tattoos look in your photos. He does like the way your eyebrows look too, especially if you're shaping them or like filling them in. Also, if you wear blush in a way that kind of makes you look sun-kissed, that looks gorgeous. And he likes the way like your body looks in certain clothes, where it just shows off the right features. You're definitely not plain. You're extra, but in a good way. But you also know how to kind of like make a simple look elegant and look put together. Like you don't have to go all out all the time, but let's say you're putting like neutrals together and you look very classy, that could also be the case. Since she is pregnant here, maybe some of you have already gone through pregnancy and he likes the photos where you were pregnant. Or if he imagines himself having kids with you one day, maybe he could imagine you taking like maternity photos together. Maybe he thinks that would be cute. He kind of feels like you guys are like opposites attract, where you love attention, he doesn't. But he likes the difference that you two have. Like the differences that you have, it makes the connection very interesting. He feels like you're opposite sides of one thing, but you kind of have a place where you meet together. Like I'm seeing the sun and the moon, for example. Two totally different things, but then they come together. So that's what I'm seeing in my mind's eye. He also likes the jewelry that you wear in your photos, Alice bands, headbands, things, just accessories in general, hair clips. I keep getting that you're intelligent but beautiful, and I keep getting like someone that loves to go shopping, because I'm seeing like shopping bags in my mind's eye. And maybe you have like a whole collection of jewelry or handbags or whatever, or even shoes, sunglasses. You seem to always look on point, like your nails, everything about you. Even on lazy days or comfort days, you seem to always look put together. And you know how to like elevate a basic outfit to look good with like accessories and stuff like that. He feels this intuitive connection with you, and he feels deeply connected with you on a spiritual level. And so every time he goes and views your photos, he feels that deep connection he has with you. But you guys are also a little bit sassy in a way, and he likes that about you. And maybe that shows through your photos or through your captions or something. Maybe you write very smart captions as well. He feels extremely lucky to be with someone like you, since we have the lucky star at the back of the deck. He sees you as like that one person everybody admires or would want to be with, and he has you. That kind of just makes him feel like, wow, you know, what does this person see in me? He knows that you're desired by other people. I am seeing like photos, and I'm gonna have to explain this with context so that you understand. Um, you know, in magazines when like a celebrity gets engaged and then they're spotted wearing their engagement ring, and then it's like kind of zoomed in on their finger with the engagement ring, and they're like, oh, this person got engaged. I'm seeing that in my mind's eye. So perhaps even though he knows you're desired by others, he wants to claim you and show the world that you're his. It doesn't have to be through engagement, but it could be through committing to you, posting with you, things like that. But it could also be him seeing you as like marriage material. Perhaps you're also someone that gets very bored with routine and you like to switch or change things up. Like, let's say today you're taking a photo of yourself in your room, and tomorrow you moved your whole bedroom around and you take another photo and he's like, oh, your bed's at the window instead of here or whatever. I'm seeing that type of energy. So maybe you're someone that likes to move your furniture in your home around a lot to like give a new vibe. Or maybe your photos each time has like a new vibe to it. They don't all look the same. That's how I could read that. I'm seeing dimples. If you have dimples, he loves them. I'm also seeing the breast area. Like, he really thirsts over that area when he looks at your photos. Especially if you have sent more sexy photos, if you get what I mean. He feels like hooked to you and addicted to you. And I think every time he sees your photos, he feels like that even more every time he sees you in person. He just feels like he needs you and can't get enough of you. Your photos are also very memorable to him. And earlier I mentioned something about like keeping a photo of you around. Now I'm seeing like someone hang a photo. So something about that could be coming through again. And maybe some of you have like a dark, more vampy aesthetic as well. So that's all I'm seeing in your reading. I really hope this reading resonated with you. Let me know how it resonated down in the comments below. Please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Thank you for watching, and I can't wait to see you next time. Hi there, my pal threes. If you chose the Blue Lace Agate Crystal and the Magician card, then this is your reading. We're going to be taking a look at how he views your photos. Please be aware that this is a general reading. Only take what resonates, leave the rest. And you can keep this man in mind while I shuffle your cards. So, Spirit Guides of Pile 3, please tap me into the energy of the person on their mind. Please show me how he views their photos for Pile 3. How does he view Pile 3's photos? How does he view Pile 3's photos? So you have the Nine of Wands. Then you have the Nine of Swords. You have the Ace of Pentacles. And you have the Hermit card showing up reverse. with the King of Pentacles and the Five of Wands at the back of the deck. Okay, so one thing I do see is he kind of thinks you look a little bit bougie in your photos. Maybe you're the type of person that loves to go out. He kind of sees you as this person that's not like the type of person that like wants to chill at home a lot of the times. Maybe you like to go out a lot. Maybe you're extroverted. You kind of like to go to different places, taking pictures there. Sometimes he does worry about you, like if you're okay, if you're safe, if you get home safe. So, you know, like whenever you are going out and sending him photos, he sees you as very beautiful in those photos, and he just hopes you're having a good time with like your friends, for example. So that's what I see so far. Another thing I see here is he kind of sees you as that type of person that knows how to make your photos look good. For example, with like, you know, how you do your makeup, how you dress up, how you do your hair. You kind of know how to find the right angles, how to kind of pose and make the photo look good. Maybe use certain, I don't want to say filters like on Instagram, but I mean like kind of like filters to make the photo look better, like lighting wise, things like that, if that makes sense. Because I see something about like being very good at editing your photos, like lighting wise, if you get what I mean. I see that. Maybe some of you are very good at photography or very good at taking photos, like knowing how to take the right photos of yourself and other people. And you also get kind of like innovative with the setting of the photo, the pose. It's always different each time and unique. Maybe you have like a very nice Instagram feed or something. Whenever he does see your photos though, like let's say you send him a photo and you're out with your friends, it kind of feels like he's let into a little bit of what you're doing, let into a little bit about your life, your daily life. And he kind of feels like he learns more about you through your photos. When you do post on social media, he does get very like anxious about, I guess, like other men wanting you. Maybe he's like the first to like comment on your post. I don't know, but that's kind of what's coming through here. There's something kind of flawless and effortless about your look in your photos too. Like I'm getting this makeup look in my mind's eye that's kind of like looking airbrushed in a way. So maybe there's something about your skin that kind of looks perfect in the photo. You kind of look airbrushed and like effortless and flawless in a way. You're also not afraid of a challenge in the sense of, let's say, I'm seeing an example of someone go to some kind of like place in nature and they're going to like stand on the rocks because maybe they're on like a hike or something, and they're going to stand on the rocks and they're kind of like fearless about it, and then they take a photo. Or like let's say they're by a waterfall and they're not afraid to kind of like get their hair wet or something and go into the waterfall and take pictures there, or get their phone wet. Like I'm getting that type of energy where you're not just taking like basic photos that everybody else takes. You kind of put in the extra effort to like get the perfect picture, if that makes sense. That's kind of what I get. It doesn't have to resonate with my example, but that was what I was seeing clairvoyantly when I looked at the Knight of Wands, Nine of Swords. Maybe you're also the type of person that goes out to like bars a lot, parties a lot, and takes photos there with your friends. You just seem like you're having a lot of fun in your photos as well. And he loves your smile in your photos. That did come up in another pile. I can't remember which one. But yeah, I just see he likes your smile, and I see that he does kind of get a little bit jealous, like when you're out without him. Not because he doesn't want you to go out without him, but kind of like that feeling of like, oh, I'm jealous. I wish I could see you, but not in a toxic way of like, oh, you can't go out with your friends, but more in a way of like, I wish I was there. Like he kind of wishes he gets to see you in person Like, yes, he likes to see your photos because then it makes him feel closer to you when he's not around you, but he kind of wishes he could see you in person. That's what I see. Another thing I'm channeling as I look at this hermit card and she's like in this white dress, it's kind of reminding me of a wedding dress. I don't know why. The photo here doesn't really look like a wedding dress, but as I look at her, it's reminding me of a wedding dress. So maybe when he looks at your photos, he can imagine you in a wedding dress. Like maybe he does see you as, you know, the woman he could potentially share a future with, depending on how serious you are, I guess, and how much it resonates. Then you can take it as such. But yeah, that's what I see. And if you're not quite serious, then maybe he could just see himself committing to you potentially. You are exactly his type, and he's very sexually attracted to you and your photos. And I do see that he tends to fantasize about you to your photos, like more sensual thoughts, if I can put it that way. I'm not going to go deeper into that because this is not an 18+ reading, but that is what I see. Also, something about the way you do your eyeliner looking really good if you do eyeliner, and maybe your eyebrows looking good too. Like maybe you have very shaped, nice eyebrows, or maybe you fold them in. I even see that some of you like to wear like false extensions, like false eyelash extensions or hair extensions, and it looks very good on you. And maybe you like to wear a full face of makeup, but it looks very good on you and kind of like flawless. It doesn't like look too much or cakey, if that makes sense. It just looks like you're kind of glamorous in a way. Well, I'm not sure if a guy would know those words, but this is how I'm interpreting the energy. There's also something about your nails looking good. Maybe a lot of you like to put on nail polish. I see that a lot of you don't necessarily like long nails. You like to kind of keep your nails short most of the time. And you kind of seem like the type of person where when you go out, you like to spend money and have fun. You don't want to just go out to go out. And maybe he can see that in your photo. Like, let's say you go to this restaurant and you're taking a photo of your food and sending it to him. That's kind of an example of what I see here clairvoyantly. He does get kind of nervous when he sees you in person, but also when he sees your photos in a good way. You know, when you're crushing on someone and you get kind of nervous around them, that's the feeling I get from him. He views you as having the perfect body type. Like, he kind of sees you as his exact type. I see him like looking at your body and thinking your body looks perfect. You also come across as very classy in your photos. But also, like, from your photos, you come across as, like, this fun, outgoing, lively type of person as well, with a lot of, like, pizzazz to your personality. And you can see that through your photos and, like, the way you interact with him, of course. He has also taken note of how you looked in the past and how you look now and how you've kind of just grown as a person. So let's say he saw photos of you from like 4 or 5 years ago and he sees how your face has changed, how you've grown as a person. Just like through your photos, you can see differences in that. You're also very hard to resist based off your photos to him, and also of course in person. He kind of like has this like mouth-watering effect when he looks at your photos, like thirsting after you, if that makes sense. Let me pull some more cards. To be honest, I think I did record pile 1 and 2 a few days ago, and I think I used the Britney Spears Oracle deck for them, if I'm not mistaken. So let me do that. So it's Spirit Guides of pile 3. How does he view their photos? How does he view their photos? So we have the femme fatale showing up reverse. You have the movie star showing up reverse. You have the forest fairy showing up upright. The record breaker upright. And you have the space princess. So you are very sexy and hard to resist, like I said before, but he also doesn't want to come on too strong and make it feel like he's too sexually charged by you in your photos. So he does feel that way, but he doesn't always like want to comment on it too much and come on too strong in a way, if that makes sense, like in a more sexual way. So I feel like he kind of holds back a little bit on telling you like how attracted he is to you because he doesn't want to scare you away potentially. He may be kind of like a little bit of a possessive guy because I see this energy of him not wanting to be that way or show it outright overtly or like be toxic with it, but I see him kind of being like, you know, I kind of want to keep you to myself. You're so beautiful that I don't want the whole world to see you. But in a kind of way of like, I want to keep you to myself. But it's good that he doesn't try to like show that overtly because that can be kind of like toxic if a guy gets like too possessive. Anyways, the forest fairy here tells me that he kind of sees you as someone that kind of has like an ethereal look to you as well. Even with the space princess, there's something otherworldly about your look, yet sexy and hot at the same time. He thinks you look very poised in your photos. And you seem to just like shine wherever you go with whatever you're wearing. So for some reason, I'm seeing this vision of something I saw like maybe like a week ago or so, or a few weeks ago. I saw this reel on somewhere online, and they were talking about like how Marilyn Monroe kind of like was spoken about by someone, where someone basically said that she only looks good in like certain dresses because she's wearing fancy dresses, and she kind of clapped back at that person, not directly but indirectly, by wearing, I think, a potato sack, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong about the details, and she kind of just proved that person wrong, that like she would look good in anything. So I'm seeing that as an example. So maybe he kind of sees you as that type of person that would look good in anything, no matter what you're wearing. It's just you that looks good. It's not, yeah, the outfit looks good, but it's not that makes you look good. Does that make sense? So he thinks that you can pull any look off at all. And that if there are haters, that they're probably just hating because they're jealous. So that's how he views you and your photos. Perhaps a lot of you like to straighten your hair, or your hair's just naturally straight like that. He thinks it looks very good. Some of you like to do Y2K looks or makeup as well. That's what I'm channeling intuitively. Something about like having very nice handbags all the time in your photos. I'm seeing like those small kind of handbags that you wear over your shoulder. They also kind of remind me of the Y2K era. I don't know why. Also, when you do show a little bit of skin in your photos, whether you're sending that to him or whether you're just like wearing something and maybe there's a little bit of cleavage, like he definitely thirsts over that. That's what I see as well, because I keep picking up on that energy from him. He also admires your height in your photos. Like maybe there's something about your height showing through in your photos and he admires that. Like if you're really tall, maybe you look gorgeous like that in your photos, and if you're really short or in the middle, you know, just take it how it resonates. There's also, like I said, a classiness and a poise to your photos, but there's also like a sassiness that comes through your photos that shows through as confidence, like in the way you pose, in the way you move. He thinks that you are one of a kind and there's not many people like you. You kind of just stand out of the crowd, and you have that look that screams, "Look at me." That kind of just stands out compared to like other people's photos. And he thinks you could never get a bad photo. Like even if he takes a photo of you and you're like, no, that photo's bad, he doesn't think it looks bad. He thinks he's never seen a bad photo of you. That's what I'm hearing. If you ever wear like thigh-high boots or knee-high boots. Perhaps they look very good on you as well. Or like leather, things like that. Or like just tight-fitting clothes. Maybe he likes the way it like kind of outlines your body. Oh my gosh, guys. So like as I look at these images, yeah, and I'm analyzing these cards and just channeling, I look over here at this card, at her finger, and I'm like, there's a ring there. I don't know if that's her left hand, right hand, but it kind of reminds me of what I said about earlier, like him maybe imagining you in a wedding dress. Perhaps he does see a future with you. Whether he's spoken about that or not, maybe he just sees potential there, because I feel like that's another confirmation of something I already said. You also have really nice thighs. And he kind of like fantasizes about your behind area. So I don't know if you've ever taken photos or he just likes your behind area and your thighs. But I'm kind of seeing, I don't know if I should say this because this is not an 18+ reading, but I'll say it. I'm seeing you kind of like jiggle your thighs and your booty, and him kind of like fantasize about that. I don't know if you've ever done that for him before, but I'm seeing that in my mind's eye. So perhaps maybe when he looks at your photos, he fantasizes about that. And just other things you would do. He thinks that you maybe have a little bit of a temper, but he finds it hot. And if he were to hurt you, all hell would break loose. Like, you would show that anger. And he's kind of scared of it a little bit, but finds it hot. But he wouldn't want to hurt you. That's what I see. But he likes the fact that you're both on the same page. And you're both kind of displaying like a similar kind of feeling of like your mind towards each other. But he is also afraid of getting hurt in this connection. Now, as for the photos, I'm going to try channel some more using my clairvoyance. So, based off your photos, you also just seem like this organized, neat, tidy person. You have very beautiful eyes. I'm seeing big eyes, like doe eyes, or kind of like almond roundish eyes, but bigger eyes. Maybe you also travel a lot because I'm seeing a suitcase. Maybe you go on girls' trips a lot, something like that, and take a lot of photos. I do see that he tends to stalk your social media photos. Like, let's say you are going out for the night or going out with your friends. Like, he tends to stalk your social media to see when you post first. Or it doesn't have to be just like when you go out, but I'm just seeing him like kind of stalk your photos on social media, on a computer. That's what I see in my mind's eye. Okay, so I'm seeing the younger version of him. Like him as a kid, teenager. It's almost like he's thinking in his mind, if his younger self had to see that he bagged a baddie like you, like his younger self would be like so happy that he's with you. I don't know why I'm seeing that, but I am. Kind of like, oh yeah, my younger self would have thought that you were possibly like my dream woman, you know? He feels like with you, he gets his cake and he gets to eat it too. Like, he gets everything he wants in this connection. And maybe that's also why he displays that energy of, like, wanting to say you're mine, wanting to claim you. Because he doesn't, like, want to let you go or want to let you slip through his fingers because he believes that he is fully satisfied with this. So I'm seeing someone take photos in their car. Maybe he takes notes of like the type of car you have if he hasn't seen it in person, or like takes notes of who's in the car or something. I don't know. But now as I'm tapping into that energy and seeing that car, I'm seeing people go on a road trip in a Cadillac for some reason. So yeah, maybe you do travel a lot and take photos of your travels. And now in my mind's eye, I'm seeing more sexual images, if you will. So again, there's a lot of fantasizing here, like I said before. It's coming up again and again in your reading, so that's just extra confirmation for you guys. And he thinks you have nothing to be insecure about. He also, again, like earlier I said something about nail polish. Now in my mind's eye, I'm seeing nail polish. So maybe he takes note of the nail color you use. Also, you seem like you eat very healthy based off maybe like the way your body looks in your photos. And also another thing I see is like, let's say he's around you and you take a photo at his house and you post it, or you take a photo with him and you post it, like something about him being really happy that something about that photo is linked to him. Like even if he's not in the photo and you maybe take a photo of your food and you go out for lunch together, like that could be the case, like him feeling like he's a part of that photo, if that makes sense. And now I'm seeing this person like an ice cream, so he thinks you're just very delicious, like based off your photos. So that is all I'm able to channel for you, pile 3. I really hope this reading resonated with you. Let me know what you thought about this in the comments below, how this resonated with you. Thank you for watching. Please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and I can't wait to see you next time.